So as always, they say they love the podcast and how we help everyone. Here's one from me, and this is fucked up. So just to warn you. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. Right, I'm gonna try not to cock it up. Jamie likes this one, don't you, Jamie?
I don't know which one it is. I always like skim, so I don't know the full.
As soon as I start talking about it, it'll come flying back. My girl and I spent a weekend away at the beach last month. So I was waiting for Jamie's eyes to suddenly click. We planned out a real sex-filled occasion, and we both really enjoyed it.
No. Yeah.
Oh, there it was. Second sentence. I bought some toys to spice it up, and she surprised me with some sexy lingerie, and it was amazing. We spoke on it again last night, and she informed me something that has turned it off massively. The whole situation is horrible, and also, damn, now made me feel sick. It turns out my girl was out of money, and no, it's not what you were thinking, it's worse. My mum lent her the lingerie. Yes, she read it correctly, Dan and Jamie. I was having a hot night of passionate sex with my mum's lingerie. It's fucking my mind up, boys. I've dreamt about my mum watching us in the hotel room on the night. Question is, do I confront my mother on what seems to be like a total intrusion? Do I try to get out of this? Try to get over this, sorry. My girl thinks it's no big deal, but what do you think? I already know what Jamie thinks, because he's a prude. Yeah, Jamie.
If this was me, yeah, I would push it down to the bottoms of my stomach and just never ever utter a word about it again in my life.
Oh, my boy, that's like an amazing story when you're out with your mates.
Oh mate, it's seriously that would give me some bad juju, man. I would not be able to deal with it. How this guy's reacting is exactly how I would react.
Yeah, but he was having sex with his girlfriend. He wasn't wrapping the underwear around his tadger and then
What
doing
if
it,
he
is
took it
he?
off with his teeth, man, or something like that?
Yeah, but she would have washed him.
Oh, dude. So you'd be alright if your mum gave her underwear to a girl that you were dating and you had like a passionate night.
It depends on when she told me.
Feel?
If we're going
During
at
the
it
act.
like rabbits, and I'm behind her knocking the headboard, and and I'm like, oh, that underwear really got me going, and she turns around and goes, well, it's a good thing your mum had some spare then. I'll be like, oh, what?
Oh my fucking god!
But if we're on the flight home, I'll just be like, thanks for not telling me. You know, it's done. There's a time and place,
over.
Jamie. There's a time and place.
For the listeners' sake, I don't know why your girlfriend told you. If for any people out there where you're in the reverse role and you've been lent underwear by your mother, by your mother-in-law, don't say.
Wouldn't it be worse if it was lent by his dad?
That would be 100% worse. Yeah, that would be.
That I couldn't handle that. That'd be like a shock as well. You'd be like, "Do you mean my mum?" She's like, "No."
That would throw me right off, man. That would. Oh. Mate,
but then
that would bring about PTSD for me.
But then you got to think he's got to have a pretty saucy mum then, because if she's got sexy underwear, when he's on if he's on holiday doing this, what's the mum doing with his dad?
Oh. I also think as well, is it getting handed back? Is it a permanent give? Or is it getting given back? Is it like Blockbusters? You return it.
You got to wash it and then give it back, didn't you? She have a little slot. Just just put it in there.
Oh mate.
No, I don't think
if I was this listener, I wouldn't want to be in the room with the handover. It just comes in like a sad bag for life. And she just hands
See,
it over.
I know what my mum would be like. Like if she hadn't have said anything, I'd be like sitting there in the kitchen, eating or drinking something, and then she would just my mum would turn around and be like, "Oh, have you got that underwear that I lent you?" And that'd be I've like spilt something. I'm like, "What underwear?" Well, that's my mum, isn't it? That's my mum all over.
Unbelievable. No, it's up to you how you go about it. I think I don't think it's if your mum's been good enough to lend it, I think there's a good chance that she's open enough sexually to talk to you about it anyway. So if you want to say, why did you do that, mum, then say it. But it depends on your relationship, because some people don't speak to their mum about anything that side of things at all.
I'm not like that. I think you got to look at it on the plus as well. That like she obviously likes your partner, otherwise she wouldn't do it. That's right. You got to look on the plus side, right?
Yeah, you were finding some real positives out of this.
Yeah, because you think like she's not going to lend it to someone. She's like, "Oh, you're a dick. I don't want you dating my son or whatever." She's generally trying to make your holiday more enjoyable.
And as an actual gesture, it is a nice gesture. It's just a little bit off key, but it is a nice gesture.
I think if anything, I would turn to my missus and I'd be like, "Thank you, but please never do that again."
Yeah, 100%.
That's the one and only time you're ever going to borrow anything sexually from my mother, and we're just going to leave it at that. But you say about burying it deep. You know full well that she's told all of her mates. So you've got to get ahead of it and tell your mates before you're in the pub as a group and one of her mates brings it up as a laugh.
I would never hear the end of it, man. Honestly, if I told everyone that I know, oh, Charlotte was wearing my mum's underwear during like a frisky night or whatever, they would be bringing that up constantly. Do you remember that time, Jamie? Do you remember that time when you went down to this cabin? Or do you remember that time?
I just imagine like if it's not been told out, it can be used as a weapon. You know what I mean?
It definitely could be a weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's whether you, I do agree. Maybe you want to get ahead of it.
It depends on what your mates are like.
Rather than be the rumour. Yeah.
Like, if Jamie said that to me, I'd be like, "What kind of underwear was it?" And you'll be like, "Dan, you're missing the point." Yeah. I'm like, "I'm not missing the point. I'm just trying to get the full details of the conversation, Jamie. What colour were they?" But then you're gonna have people like Jamie's brother. Yeah, they were just fucking. That'd be it.
That would be banter for years.
Yeah.
That would get brought up at Christmas dinner, and I wouldn't be able to eat my fucking turkey. You know what I mean? That's what would happen. While Mum and Charlotte are making weird eye contact across the table.
With situations like this, I always try and... Well, my brain always thinks about everything anyway. But can you imagine the conversation with... Because you know what? There's no way that his dad was probably on board with it.
Oh, 100%.
So the mum and dad was probably sitting there eating their dinner, and you're off on holiday banging each other and that. And the mum probably just turns to him and just doesn't even... just goes, "Oh, I lent so-and-so some underwear for them to go on holiday." And the dad just like looks at her. "You did what?" She's like, yeah. Just thought it'd be really nice. She didn't have any, so I thought I'd lend her some. And he's like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" She's like, "What?" He's like, "Did you honestly think that would go down well? I really hope I'm not in the room when he finds out." And she's like, "Oh, I'll be fine. He'll be fine." She was happy with him.
Yeah.
That's how the conversation went. I hope it wasn't his dad's favourite ones either. Because, you know what I mean?
Oh,
that's
can you
weird
imagine?
now.
Be like, "What, the red frilly ones? The red ones?"
Did I tell you about... I can't say it without... When my stepdad came in and asked for some condoms back that they gave me.
Oh, yeah. I don't know whether you said it on here.
Oh, okay, well, just briefly, when I was younger, I can't remember, it was my mum or my stepdad gave me a box of condoms. and they were like, "Oh, we don't," because Jeff was told that he couldn't have kids. I've just said his name. Doesn't matter. He's not going to listen. Said he couldn't have kids, so they were like, "I'm going to have him." Then one night, must have been really late, Jeff comes into my room and he's like, "Oh, Dan, have you got them condoms that your mum gave you?" And I'm like, "Yes, and never give them back to me again because I don't want to know." I just gave him the box, he left. I'm just like, holy shit, what the fuck? He could at least rumbled through my room while I wasn't there and looked for him. You know what I mean?
That's what, yeah.
I mean,
It was emergency, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, God. Holy shit. Yeah, no, so that was rough. I can't remember if I mentioned that on the podcast or not.
If you did, I think it might have been an early one when we were talking about our relationships with our mums, I think.
Maybe.
But
yeah, so, yeah, no, well, you got two different perspectives. I'm not that bothered, and I think you should tell your mates because it's fucking hilarious, and Jamie wants you to lie, like he always does.
Well, not
take
lie,
it to the grave.
Push it down inside. Yeah, take it to the grave.
Take it to the grave, bury it 6 feet under.
Dan's is more healthy. For your mental health, Dan's is more healthy. Mine is the reason I am the way I am. Do you know what I mean?
Because, oh mate, I can only imagine the secrets that are buried in your graveyard, Jamie.
Oh mate, we ain't digging none of them up. They're staying where they fucking are. There's some shit that do you know? Have you ever told a lie and then forgot you told it, and then you have to like kind of get the person to recap it for you because you have no idea what they're talking about?
I'm pretty sure in the last episode you said something about that.
Yeah, when I told Karen a lie.
That was it. Yeah.
And then I got a new girlfriend, and then I had to like backtrack the whole fucking situation. And I was like, why did I tell that? And it was only because I was bored on a Thursday.
See, I just fucking to me it's alright. She was like I said, if you want to look at it from a perspective, she was trying to do a nice thing, whether or not it was misstrued or anything like that. She was trying to help out. So
the idea behind it was a nice
thing. So if anything, you could say to your mum, don't do that again. Same thing for your girlfriend as well. Just be like, no. If you need money, just don't wear nothing. I don't mind underwear. Some of it's quite nice.
It does it for me, but I'm not overly keen on if they're just standing there completely with everything out. It's just like there's no like. Oh
no! See,
nothing to.
I'm too impatient. Underwear is just another barrier that I've now got to try and fucking get around. You know what I mean? I'd much rather come home to someone's Starkers and I'll be like, "Whoop, it's game." Then come home and I'm like, "Oh, she's just got out of the shower. She's walking around in her underwear." You know what I mean? That's my thought process. It's like she's covered up because she doesn't want me to go for it. Whereas if she's fucking Starkers,
I see it as a challenge.
And the one I know men are quite proud of this, but I can't undo bras.
Really?
Even if I'm looking, I can't fucking undo a bra. I'd be a useless woman. So like, I have to sort of try and get them to take it off themselves without going, I can't take that off. You know what I mean? It's just a whole.
What do you do? Like try faff around and try about 15 times until they lose it. They just say, all right. They just say, all right.
Normally I just carry on with it on. Because I'm an arse man. I don't give a boobs are boobs, and I don't mind rubbing my face in them, but I'm not particularly. But yeah, if they don't take it off, then it's probably going to stay on.
All right, that's another new thing I didn't know about you, Dan.
That makes me sound like a really lazy lover. Well, I'm a little bit. Lazy lover.
You make up for it in other ways, mate.
Oh yeah, definitely a trier. Right, yeah. So let us know what you decide to do. If you go and tell your mates at the pub, please tell us because that would make me laugh. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Really. I know the reaction. I know what they say to him. Like, will they laugh? Will they be like me and be like, and? I bet if I was standing there.
Yeah, one friend like you.
Yeah, one person would be like, "Oh, I've got a story like that." That'd be it then.